Wow, not bad, man. I'm at work. It's not the best time, but I can take a minute.
Well, like I said, I wasn't worried about your convenience.
Yeah, that's true.
What did you want to talk about? You got 2 minutes.
Well, I just think it's very interesting how you go out of your way to make comments on my videos about me being a child molester, and yet you're not willing to have any sort of serious discussion about the subject itself or the organization, which I think is corrupt. It seems that you just want to talk about me and things that you have no idea about what have happened in my life, but you think you got it all figured out.
Well, I've talked about the organization with your cronies online. Isn't that good enough for you?
I usually don't follow those conversations very closely. I only look at the comments that come up in my inbox, and I see several of yours have come up where you accuse me of being a child molester.
Well, I came to that conclusion from what I saw in the video.
And how did, yeah, just walk me through that. I'm curious.
Well, first of all, you had to balloon the comments that were written.
Right,
Write them so people could understand what they were saying because they could barely be heard.
right.
Then if they weren't talking about you, then why were you so upset and accusing them of looking in your PC folder for some information?
Right.
So,
Well,
if they weren't talking about you and you didn't know if they were talking about you or not, then why would you be so upset and asking them to not look in this PC folder thing?
well, all right, very good. Now, do you agree that you can hear them say that, especially in the second video?
In the second video, yes, but in the first one where you went ballistic on them because they said it and they weren't talking about anybody in particular, it just
Right, I can never be 100% sure, and I never will be. But, you know, you can draw a certain conclusion when you have enough information that, yeah, this is probably what they're doing.
then I draw certain conclusions from the information that I've got. You're drawing certain conclusions from the information you have.
Okay, well, your conclusion is that I'm a child molester based on very little information at all. I mean, I used to work with these guys. I know how they act because I've been protesting them.
The thing I study a lot is people's reactions to things.
Right?
It's part of my job.
Okay.
And I can tell just by the reaction of a human being and what they're doing.
Right?
Whether they're telling me the truth or whether they're not, and what their reaction actually means.
Okay.
Something that I do for a living.
Uh-huh. And so you got me all figured out then? You know I'm definitely a child molester by the way I reacted.
I know that there's something in there about the child molestation or being a child molester that you're actually hiding. I'm about 90% sure of that just from your reaction to that video.
Right? Well, there is something that's similar, but it's not that per se. And it's not my, it's not my best interest to go talking about that on YouTube, because it doesn't involve only myself. What happened a long, long time ago. I had to stop talking here. I got someone that can hear me. So it's not in my best interest to go talking about that, but I know for a fact that that's what they're, well, again, I'm sorry, that's just an expression. I know that that's what they were trying to do, and that's what they were referring to, so that's fine. I mean, at first it was annoying, and I thought to myself, my God, I cannot believe these guys, because I used to consider them as friends, and even though I'm out there and I'm sarcastic and I'm giving them a hard time, I really do care about them. And I was just sort of upset that they would stoop to that level.
Tell me that you won't care about me that much.
What do you mean?
Well, the way you express your care
Right?
is what you're doing. Then please don't ever care about me.
Oh, I see. Well, like I said, if they responded to rational conversation and just sort of didn't go after critics the way they do, I would try to just say, well, I have tried. Just talk to me, and they don't respond to that. So I don't know what else to do. But what I won't do is sit around and do nothing while they continue to harm people the way they do, the way they treat their critics, because that would also be wrong. So it's a tough decision. I mean, I honestly don't know where to draw that balance between being a sarcastic, confrontational sort of jerk to being the compassionate, caring, wanting to help sort of person. You got to strike a balance somewhere, and I know I'm not doing it.
Every time you and your friends
Right?
have a
Well, again, I can only speak for myself, and I can tell you right now, I think for sure I posted one thing there from Science and Survival in which he talks about there's two ways to deal with someone who's 1.1 on the tone scale, and that's either audit them.
It said 2.0 was
Oh, yeah. You're right, you're right.
and it wasn't a deletion. It actually told exactly the two ways that you would do it.
Right.
But it also, either one of them had anything to do with killing people.
It said
It said quarantining them.
dispose of them quietly.
Which is just like we do in society now. We quarantine our criminals by putting them in jail.
It says dispose of them quietly and without sorrow.
Do you have sorrow for criminals when you put them in jail?
Yes, I do. I think our prisons...
Because they've committed a crime.
All right, well, he should have said, put them in prison. He doesn't. He says deal with them quietly without sorrow. And he also he also talks about how they dealt with lepers, and I forget which society, but he said that this is in the same book, if not the same chapter. Right, and he said that he rounded up all the lepers, and then he disposed of them, and all of a sudden there was a resurgence in health or something like this, and that's very close to what he's suggesting with what you do when you get rid of people who are below 2.0 on the tone scale.
Actually, I read the entire chapter. So
Okay.
he was making a reference to how certain societies have dealt with people who are undesirable and who cause the society to go into a downturn.
Right.
He did not say anywhere that that was the actual correct way to handle them. So, again, you can throw in anything you want in your interpretation of the information, but most likely from you guys it will be twisted.
All right, well, let me give you a real-life example. Look at how Scientology deals with their critics. Look what they did to Paulette Cooper. They tried to deal with her in a way that basically would drive her insane or get her thrown in prison. And to me, that's disposing of her quietly and without sorrow. Well, maybe not so quietly, but certainly without sorrow. When they set her up with a bomb threat with her fingerprints on a piece of paper that they stole, and then later, when they raided the org in Washington, D.C., and they found the file that proved this, and several of the high-ranking members went to jail, I mean, that tells me that maybe they're also reading this twisted misinterpretation that that I may have. But whatever the deal is, Scientology does not treat its critics nicely, and they do it as almost as if they were reading the playbook from Science and Survival on how to deal with people below 2.0. So I'm not sure. Well, when they actually show a little bit of courage, like you do by calling, that's yeah, I'll treat you with a little bit more respect now. But when people just comment and make accusations about things they know nothing about, then I get a little, I'll be a little more confrontational, sarcastic, but. Yeah, and again, I only speak for myself, and I hardly follow those conversations. I can't believe how many comments are on that 61.0. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I don't try to follow it, but you're always going to have that. It's just that sort of medium. I try not to censor anybody's comments, and the only time I have done that is when actually twice, when this one guy just kept spamming up the channel, and when another time this other guy wouldn't shut up. He just was being a real asshole to everybody, and that was one time, and then I felt bad about that. So I try to just let everyone, have their free speech on my threads, even though I don't follow it. And I think you accuse me of being a hater because I allow those comments to be on there, but that's not the way I see it. But I hear what you're saying. It's very easy to get drawn into that sort of non-productive, drawn-out conversation of name-calling and accusations. But like I said, when I see the ones that pop up and accuse me of that sort of thing, I sort of take issue with that, and that's why I called you out a little bit. That's awesome, man. Yeah, thank you so much. I am, and I'm sorry that I accused you of being Tim Higgs earlier. Now I know that you're not, because I know him, and I know what his voice sounds like. I can tell. All right, man. Take care. Bye.